So an early best class setup for the Scar is going to be the stippled grip with the commando foregrip, as well as a muzzle brake, the 25 round mag, and whatever optic you want to use. If you're not looking to go with an optic, you can pretty much put whatever attachment you want. And this is the class setup you're going to be seeing in the gameplay we're going to go ahead and break down today. But I did still want to give you a best class setup. I haven't quite leveled up the weapon all the way, but I have gone through and done a little bit of testing. So the best class setup for the Scar is going to be whatever optic you want to use. I do prefer an optic just because at some of the further ranges, it is a little bit harder to hit your targets. I like the compensator for that recoil reduction. The Forge Tac 20-inch will actually increase your range by 12.5 meters compared to the other long barrel attachment. That'll only increase it by 7.5, so it's kind of a trade-off for a little bit faster ADS time, and I think the stippled grip kind of takes care of that. So that's why I'm running the stipple grip. I also run the commando foregrip because obviously when you combine that with the compensator, you're going to have the least amount of recoils possible for this specific weapon. So now we're going to go ahead and talk about how to use the weapon. Obviously you have the best class setup now, but it does you no good if you don't actually know how to play the game. So if you enjoy the video, find it helpful in any way, or just here for the class setup, please remember to hit that like button. It does help this video get seen by more people. And if you're looking to find your way back for more Call of Duty news and tips and tricks on how you can improve, make sure you do subscribe with notifications on. Let's go ahead and get into the breakdown. So as you can see, I've started within a match in progress, but it's very early on in the gameplay. The enemy team has just barely captured B. And what you really want to focus on when you're playing domination is trying to get that map control. You'll see a lot of players just going ahead and jumping on objective after objective after objective, and it ends up being that they end up losing the match, or maybe they just go quad negative, penta negative, whatever the case is. But typically what you're going to try and do is try and create a bubble around the B objective and go ahead and push up so you can go ahead and maintain that map control. And the overall goal is to keep your home spawn flag as well as the B flag for the entire match and never flip the spawns. Once you flip the spawns, people are able to slip through the cracks and get into angles that you might not really be predicting people to be, and a lot of times that's going to cause unnecessary deaths. Somehow this guy slipped right past my teammate. My teammate was standing in the corner, so I'm not sure how this guy made it through this area without the teammate turning around. So that's just a little bit of bad luck. I just made the assumption that my teammate was holding that corner, which would have made it very difficult for an enemy to sneak by. But for whatever reason, that type of stuff happens. You can't predict everything within this game unless you're just going to choose to camp in a room in the back of your spawn for the entire match, get streaks, and then not participate in the objective at all. Obviously, I was trying to take someone off the objective there, kind of creeping up. I do see a guy over here. I'm able to take him out. So when it comes to the Scar's damage profile, it either does 35 damage or 32. And without that ranged attachment, that cutoff will be right around the 27.5 meter mark. But if you go ahead and equip that range attachment, that's going to go ahead and bump it all the way up to 40 meters. But regardless if you decide to use a ranged attachment or not, the headshot damage is 1.6 times, which converts that damage profile to 56 up close and 51 at those farther ranges. So based off how all the damage math works out, it's pretty much 3 shots to 4 shots to kill. So 1 headshot doesn't matter, but anytime you land 2 headshots, it will always be 2 shots to kill. So I already tried to go the middle route. Now I'm trying to work my way up this right side. I kind of see where my teammate was. There ended up being 2 guys. I ended up getting pinched. I took out one of them, but the other one was able to take me out. And typically what you're trying to do is assess where the enemies are based off where your teammates are. Obviously the gunfire doesn't appear on the mini map. We can still use the compass to kind of find out where enemies are. It's not all that great because you got to focus on one or the other. Kind of hard to focus on both at the same time. As I come through over here, I kind of pre-aim the hot area. See that guy is kind of mounted on the wall. And I didn't even notice this guy on the left because my teammate's name kind of blocked him a little bit. The guy ended up hearing my teammate, turned around, saw me, ends up taking me out. Now I'm going to go ahead and come out of spawn this time again, and I'm going to go on a little bit longer streak. As I push up, I'm going ahead and seeing that I have a lot of teammates with me. I'm going to go ahead and kind of stick on this head glitch. You can see my teammates were able to capture the objective. Because we kind of have a unified wall, and not many players are actually pushing beyond that wall. You can see my teammate kind of pushing a little bit forward, kind of peeking. I'm peeking the spawn with him, seeing if anyone's coming out of there, and then I go ahead and check this back area. A lot of people tend to camp in this little room on the left of me, as well as that little house in the corner. And what's a big difference with Modern Warfare is typically you could just approach where that camper is and then you can kind of flush them out. With this game, the way that all the different angles are set up, the buildings are set up, the equipment are set up, it's going to be very difficult to do that unless you go with a full-on team. So it's better just to completely avoid that area if they're not locking down a specific objective. Right now you can see that we have pretty solid map control, and at the current moment I have zero reason to push into the A spawn. Literally, I want the enemies to come through, shoot them in the back, get me some easy kills. You can see where my teammates are located. They're pretty much locking down the middle part of the map. This guy walked right up to me, didn't even see me. There's another one there. I end up taking him out. I know they're going to come back for their revenge kill, so I go ahead and set up that claymore, and then I decided to jump down. I didn't hear this guy, and the guy didn't hear me, but luckily I'm able to get the little reload in and take the guy out. And now I'm just kind of patrolling this area. I do have a UAV up, and now I'm just going to play based off the UAV. I can kind of hear the guy coming around. I pre-aim a little bit, take him out, and I'm expecting another one to come through, and I go ahead and just take a different angle. And that's the key. You want to go ahead and take different angles so you're not as predictable. I still end up taking damage there. And this area is so important as an individual perspective because I'm literally cutting off that flank route, so enemies can't creep around and cut through mid and end up taking the B objective. So with that, it looks like I kind of overstayed my welcome, so I'm getting out of there. I'm assuming that guy's not going to follow me because he's literally pre-aimed and mounted. He's not going to contribute probably for the rest of the game. He's just going to kind of post up on the area. Now you can see my teammates are starting to flood behind me, and I'm deciding to creep up a little bit. I can see my teammates are working around the left side. So I'm posted up, pre-aiming the area where I think enemies could be. I go ahead and see what's going on, and you really got to pay attention to the mini-map when you're looking at this type of stuff, because if one of your teammates dies, like they just did over there, there is a death skull. There's 2 death skulls behind me, and I'm taking that guy out, get my 8th kill, and now I can go ahead and place my VTOL right over A where I know all the enemies are kind of hanging out. So what you're going to see right here is my teammates getting in a gunfight with the guy on the right. You can see the bullets flying back and forth as they come back out. You'll see it right here. And I have to debate between using my ammunition box and using dead silence. I decided to go with dead silence. I decided to make the play. I go ahead and take the guy out. He's sitting in the corner. He doesn't hear me come up. I'm able to take him out, and I debate whether or not I want to pick up the pistol because my secondary is a launcher. I go ahead and run through over here, and it still looks like this area is fairly clear. I can see my teammate down at the bottom over there, kind of just pre-aiming them as they come out of A. The VTOL is still putting in some work, but it just got shot down, so I got to be aware of that. Just pre-aim the spawn. I end up getting flashed, so I decide to move back through the area. I see where my teammate's at, seeing what's going on with him, seeing if he's going to die. I'm seeing that he's pre-aiming, that he's getting into a gunfight. And as I jump up here, I end up picking up some ammo. Didn't really realize it quite yet. My teammate ended up dying, and now I got to play my life because I'm only 1 kill off the chopper gunner, and I know that's going to make it so we can maintain the C and B objectives without actually pushing into A. Hopefully our teammates don't get brave. So all I'm doing is just listening, and essentially I'm camping for the easiest kill possible because that 1 kill is going to lead to like another 10 or 15 kills, as you'll see once I go ahead and call in that streak. Paying attention to what's going on, seeing if I could hear anybody coming out of spawn, see if I could pick off some easy kills here, take that guy out, and now I have my chopper gunner. And what I'm going to do is wait a little bit, see if I can get any extra kills, and if I'm able to do that, I can go ahead and back off as soon as my teammate gets in there. Take that guy out. My teammate's slowly creeping up. I'm waiting for him to actually move forward so I can get a little kill there. Ends up being the guy is underneath somehow. He snuck around. I end up taking the guy out. I can see my teammates moving forward. I'm going to give him a little bit of help as people are running through. You can see him shooting at them. I'm thinking if I can get an assist or a kill there. Then once I see he's in a good spot, I decide to back off a little bit so I can get to a safe space so I'm not going to end up dying the second I call in my chopper gunner. So what you're really trying to look out for, especially if you're playing in a party, you're going to want to give call outs because everyone's going to be running to certain locations. You're going to want to help your team to know where people are, especially if a lot of people aren't running cold-blooded. I'm taking those guys out. There's 2 kills there. And I'm just trying to see where everyone's at because they're not popping up. And you can see they're a little bit below me. And I'm actually moving the thing around so I can try and pick up a few easy kills. A couple kills there, a bit there, take out that guy. And there's just a lot of these guys are flooding around like cockroaches. And the important part for you while you're up there is to see if anyone's kind of flanking around. You can see your teammates locking down the area. There's kind of an invisible wall stopping the enemies from moving around. And then once I come out of the chopper gunner, I feel pretty safe moving around because I know where most of the enemies are. They were kind of all in that back area because the game currently has some pretty bad spawns and it spawns you deep within the spawn. You see my teammates kind of pushing up a little bit too aggressively in A. I had a teammate just spawn over there on the C side, so the spawns doesn't look like they've flipped. But you can see some of my teammates are going a little bit too aggressive, pushing in a little bit too deep. I take out that guy, back off. I'm not sure exactly what's going on here. My teammate's below. I peek it really quick, turn around, end up pre-firing at my teammate. Wasn't 100% sure that was a good guy or a bad guy. Wasn't sure if there was a guy that jumped up behind me. But you can see my teammate just died. I'm not sure exactly where the enemy is. I feel like they're up top, and as you can see, they're jumping up, and they're kind of creeping up above me. And I want to keep my footsteps quiet, but there's not really a way for me to get up there with where he's currently located. If I move too quickly, he's going to be able to hear my footsteps. So you really got to be aware of those types of things because he is in a strong position. Literally, if he knows where I'm at and I don't know where he's at, I'm going to end up losing that gunfight. So I peek up, take him out, and as you'll see, I end up getting killed by a random enemy. I had no clue he was there, couldn't hear him, he was crouch walking around, so obviously can't hear him when that's the case. I end up going 35-5, so not that bad of a match. Spawns me so far from the action, it takes a while to actually get back into it. I think the Scar is pretty good. I think it has a consistent damage profile. I think it bounces around just a little bit too much with the recoil, but overall I think it's a good weapon. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, please remember to hit that like button. If you're brand new around here, would like to find your way back, make sure you go ahead and subscribe with notifications on. Thank you for watching. As always, have a great day.